Hey rollerbladers, welcome back. So we're going to talk about the 5 mistakes that I see in aggressive inline skating. So I made a video like this about 8 months ago, but I've had 8 months to kind of think and refine my thoughts a little bit and come up with some new mistakes that I've seen over the last 8 months. This is going to be a 5 mistakes V2. I'm going to talk about the 5 mistakes that I kind of find most relevant for this video. Obviously there's going to be more mistakes, and for the experienced skaters that are watching, please let me know what I missed down in the comments below, or what you think are kind of more important mistakes that I may have missed. But I'm gonna go over, like I said, the 5 mistakes that I see pretty often and I think that are most relevant for this video. And if you end up liking the video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel. Helps get rollerblading out to more people here on YouTube. And that is the goal of this channel, is to get more people rollerblading or back onto rollerblades. Mistake number 1 is doing 90-degree grinds. Well, what do I mean by that?
What are you talking about?
As you'll notice, your sole plate and your frame create a 90-degree angle. You know, we're gonna talk about this mistake on different obstacles, including square ledges and round rails. But for this instance, it's like, hey, my sole plate and my frame are 90 degrees and a square ledge is 90 degrees. Perfect. They match up perfectly. It's this perfect two-dimensional coming together. It's great.
These are not exactly a match made in heaven.
Unfortunately, what this does is kind of lures people into this kind of two-dimensional thinking where, you know, the sole plate needs to be perfectly lined up and mated to this 90-degree ledge, when really, if you do that, it kind of sets you up to have your weight not perfectly over the obstacle and can make your grinds both shorter, right? You watch a lot of advanced skaters slide on these square ledges for a long time. And so this is gonna help, or it's gonna hinder that rather. Honestly, when you kind of skate like that, it hurts your style, right? And skating is a little bit more art than science, I've said before. And it's important, in my opinion at least, to have your tricks like at least, you know, look good. In order to fix this, you're just gonna drive that knee. It's more knee than ankle, in my opinion. You're gonna drive that knee, the sole plate foot knee, over the obstacle. That's gonna bend that foot, bend that sole plate. So it's not perfectly mated up, but that's okay, don't worry. It's gonna put your weight a little bit more over that ledge, and it's gonna keep you on that ledge much longer. And again, it's gonna make your grinds look better, in my opinion. It limits the amount of purchase that your sole plate gets on that rail, and it can make it very susceptible to you just slipping off or sliding off and potentially getting hurt. So again, it's important to drive that knee over the obstacle, over the rail. It's gonna, again, put your weight directly over the obstacle, and it's gonna give you much longer grinds on rails, and they're gonna look a lot better. Mistake number 2 is leaning back.
Now lean back. Lean back.
This one is no surprise. We see newer skaters do this all the time, whether it's on flat ground, whether it's on transitions, i.e. ramps, or on grinding as well. I'm not certain, but I think it's kind of a defense mechanism for us to sort of lean back, lean away from danger or risk. And certainly when you're learning these new tricks and grinds and things, there's a certain perceived level of risk. So you're gonna lean back. Well, as we all know, with wheels on your feet, that's not ideal. That can make you slip out and get hurt. That's where a lot of people fall, dislocate things, and break things. It's not a good time. So what you really want to do is kind of lean forward at the waist and lower your waist, lower those hips, bring those hips down and bring those, you know, bend those knees. Have a forward leaning attitude, both on ramps when you're dropping in and on different rails, the things that you're grinding. Kind of face the direction of travel and lean into the grind, as opposed to leaning back and being nervous and afraid. Mistake number 3 is not jumping with both feet. So this can either be jumping up, or at least attempting to jump up like a ledge or a step up, or of course it can be stepping up onto a grind. In my opinion, you're gonna find that you're gonna have a lot more power when you're trying to jump up onto something. You're gonna have more power when you jump with both legs. You have both legs working towards a common goal instead of stepping up in a sort of disjointed way. Specifically on grinds, why this is important, you know, it's okay to step up when you're learning. I advocate for that. A lot of my how-tos have you stepping up to learn that grind and get the feel for it, and that's fine. But what happens is if you use that as a crutch and you're only able to step up, you're not able to jump with both feet, it's going to limit your progression, because there's a lot of grinds out there where you can't step up to them. And so in my opinion, the purpose of, you know, the reason I like to rollerblade, and I think a lot of other you watching like to rollerblade, is that it's a challenge and you like to learn new things and progress. Mistake number 4 is looking down or not looking in the direction of travel. It's easy to want to look down at your feet to see what's going on down there. You haven't built the muscle memory, and therefore you want to look and see what's going on, because you can't do it by feel just yet. Your body tends to go where you're looking. If you're driving on the highway and you're looking over to the right, your car's typically going to start drifting over to the right. And it's the same thing with sports, right? You've heard this all the time. Like your body tends to go where your eyes are looking, and it's no different with rollerblading. On grinds, specifically looking towards the end of the obstacle, and on ramps while you're dropping in or whatever, looking, out in the direction of intended travel. Another mistake with, where you're looking is a lot of times I see people on like mini ramps or quarter pipes, and they get kind of fixed in this forward facing looking orientation when they go up and come back down without turning around. This is, in my opinion, kind of a safety concern, because you're not seeing what's behind you. There could be a person, there could be an obstacle. It can be disorienting. What I advocate is for always looking where you're going, right? You wouldn't drive a car without looking where you're going, hopefully. And when you land off of grinds, right, in my opinion, you should be continuously looking in the direction of travel for all the reasons we've already talked about. And what this is going to do for you as well is it's going to set you up in the future to string together tricks, right? So if you land one trick and you land already looking in the direction of travel, you're already anticipating and setting yourself up for that next obstacle, you're going to be able to set up some really smooth and sick grinds, or line grinds. Mistake number 5 is not becoming a good rollerblader before aggressive skating. Most people probably wouldn't try a backflip on a BMX bike without learning how to ride a bike. Likewise, most people probably wouldn't go to the ski slopes on a half pipe on skis without ever learning how to ski. So in my opinion, it's the same way with aggressive skating at the skate park or wherever, is that you should become a proficient and safe rollerblader first. It's not as glamorous, it's not as fun and exciting as, seeing all your friends do these crazy cool grinds, but it's super important to lay a strong foundation. And this mistake probably could have and should have probably been number 1, because I think it's the most important by far. But laying a strong foundation of just basic skills, including just, find like a trail and just learn how to glide and coast safely. Learn how to stop in different ways. Learn how to be effective at turning and carving. You can learn here how to skate backwards effectively. And then it doesn't hurt as well while in this sort of low pressure environment to learn how to jump. For most people, the skate park can and will be a pretty intimidating environment for beginners. So again, like I advocated, find some empty parking lot, a trail, etc., and perfect these skills. Maybe not perfect, but at least become a reasonably good rollerblader before going off and doing ramps and jumps and grinds, etc. And those are the 5 mistakes that I think are most relevant for this video. Experienced skaters, please let me know what I missed down in the comments. And rollerbladers, if you found value in the video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel. Helps out the channel and helps get rollerblading out to more people here on YouTube. And with that, rollerbladers, I will see you on the next video. Take care. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters. Without your help, this would not be possible. If you want to support the channel through Patreon, check out the link down in the description below and check out the video on the screen. I'll see you over there.